Avenias is a digital platform that allows restaurants in Africa to buy supplies, access financial services, and power their business operations. That company says it's raised $30 million in equity and debt funding round. This is one of the stream of venture capital and equity funds flowing into Frontier Africa to support digital platforms, fintechs, and other startups. The CEO and co-founder of Avenias, Tunde joins me now to discuss this latest development. Good evening, welcome to the show. Let's get this conversation going. Give me a brief overview of the restaurant business in Africa today. How do they manage their operations with the whole challenges of supply chain and other things?
Thanks, boss, and happy to be here to have this discussion. So right now, the situation of the restaurants industry in Africa, which is very, very key to the livelihoods and quality of life for about 700 million Africans that they feed every day. We have about 2 million plus restaurants and food businesses who feed about 700 million people in Africa every day. And these businesses operate in the informal, or what we like to call semi-formal market. So many of their business processes are very analog. So most of the problems that they face fall into three categories. They have supply issues because they cannot get access to quality supplies, reliable quality supplies regularly. They usually have access to funding issues because they cannot finance. They have cash flow issues because they cannot finance most of these transactions because they have to keep either paying upfront or paying on delivery. And then finally, their bookkeeping processes, their operation processes are very analog. They have a lack of access to data that helps them to run their business operations as efficiently as possible. This is the situation of things right now on the African continent for the restaurant businesses.
But what solutions are possible to improve this situation?
I think off the top of my head, especially with what we do at Wendy's, automating a lot of these processes brings efficiency to the process and helps these businesses to grow. For instance, because with a platform that's automated or with their operations automated, they can bank on, say, 12-hour delivery or regular delivery of quality supplies. They don't have to tie down funds to fund these supplies. And they also have access to data on an ERP platform like Wendy's to manage their business operations efficiently and cut down on waste and help them to grow. So yeah, automating their current modes of business is the way out of the current predicament.
Also, so let's get to the numbers, by the way. $30 million, that's a whole lot of money on the table. So you've got two largest Africa-focused venture capital firms to be part of this particularly. Tell me about this fund. How did you raise it? Who are parties to this particular fundraising?
So this round was led by Telkom, co-led by Telkom and Patek, as you said, two of the biggest Africa-focused funds. We've been in touch with both of them for a while now, especially Patek since our seed round, and they've been tracking our growth even from then. We got introduced to Telkom through Dr. Mobola Johnson, former Minister of Tech and Innovation for Nigeria. They also have been tracking us for a couple of years now since we started. And because of the kind of metrics that we've had, even from seed till now, in the space of 12 years, we've grown a whole lot, 5x. The restaurant businesses on our platform have accessed about $12 million worth of financing. We now service over 3,000 users on the platform. We've grown from 3 cities just last year into about 8 cities and 2 countries right now. So I think the growth that we had and the fact that we're also very positive on our unit economics was a big attraction to them, even now when funding is drying up in the ecosystem.
Okay, so how do you plan to utilize these funds, and where are you? Tell me about your footprints moving forward.
So we intend to dip in our roots or dipping our resources here in the cities that we're currently in, continue to grow out in the cities that we're in, and also build on the product offerings that we have. The purpose or the intent for Wendy's is to automate Africa's food supply. In layman terms, we want, starting with restaurants, we want the future restaurants. And when I say future restaurants, I mean restaurants who are going to launch in the next 1, 2 years to be able to have access to the type of opportunities and tools that older restaurants do not have. So if you want to start a restaurant business, anybody should be able to start a restaurant business. All you just need is a platform like Wendy's to plug and play. You get on Wendy's platform, you can access procurement of the best quality goods at the best prices. You can access finance to finance this procurement because you don't have to tie down your own funds to do it. And then you also have an ERP at your fingertips that helps you to manage your invoicing, that helps you to manage your inventory service, inventory, that helps you with different things, other management, etc. So that's the whole point of Wendy's, and that's what we're using this fund to do. So we're going to deepen our growth, like focus on growth in our current markets, and also improve on the product offerings that we have.
On a final note, are there specific challenges that the war in Ukraine, for example, is creating for restaurant businesses and for folks like you who are intervening and providing solutions and innovative offerings to those who are doing restaurant business in terms of supply chain issues?
Oh yeah, like really big issues. For instance, very simple one is like a lot of Nigerians, I'm sure you know, eat bread every day, and a big component of that bread is wheat, which comes in with flour. So because of the war in Ukraine, Ukraine is one of the largest producers of wheat, if not the largest. The global wheat supply has shortened, and that's affected a lot of the businesses in Nigeria. But because of the Vendis platform, because we use data analytics to predict shortages, to predict buyer behavior, the restaurants and the food businesses like bakeries on our platform are largely shielded from these issues. So Vendis helps them to cut down on waste, help them to plan their supply management so that they don't run short of the produce that they need to produce their meals, their food.
Thank you so much, Tunde, CEO and co-founder at Vendis. We wish you all the best and have a great evening. Thank you so much.